Welcome back to Wines du Jour. We're here at a beautiful restaurant called Cantina Laredo. And we have with us tonight Mark Watson, who is the general manager. This is a guy that's made this restaurant really sing since they opened up. Mark, thank you very much for allowing us to come in and sharing your restaurant and some good food with us. Tell me a little bit about your restaurant. This is a chain. That's not a negative thing, but the fact is that in Las Vegas, we never heard of it before. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'm kind of glad you've never heard of it before, but the people who have heard of it before are more than happy to have us here. We have 38 different locations in 18 different states. We are Cantina Laredo, modern Mexican. Basically what we mean is, that, a lot of folks nowadays with special needs, and gluten-free happens a lot, also vegetarian, we not non-dairy and stuff like that.
Sure.
And we like to cater to those folks and make sure that they have a place that they can come and call their own.
If you come here, you feel like you're in a very classy restaurant until you look at the menu. And by that I mean, not because there aren't great selections, because there are a lot of them, but the prices are not so high.
We try to keep the prices low so that people, feel comfortable to come out here, try different things.
That's great. Well, tonight we're starting out with wine number one, which is a 2009 Balche in Guadalupe Valley, which is just, about 42 or 45 miles south of the Mexican border. So, Balche put together a couple different varietals. They took the Sauvignon Blanc and they took the Chenin Blanc. Now, Chenin Blanc isn't a name we hear an awful lot of, like we probably should hear more of, and they blended the two together. They've actually taken 75% Sauvignon Blanc and 23% of the Chenin Blanc and 2% Viognier. Blended all those three varietals together, and I have to tell you, you've had an opportunity now to kind of take a look at the wine. It's nice and clear. It looks pretty good. Swirl it around, which I recommend if you're going to taste wine, whether it's at home, at a restaurant, or at a friend's home. Swirl your wine around the glass for about 10 seconds, and then stick your nose right down in there and take a whiff and see what comes up. Now, Chef Damon here, and Mark's chef in the kitchen, has decided tonight to go with this a Balche double. It's called double blanc. That means 2 white, but it's really 3 because there's 2% of the Viognier. But the double blanc wine, and he's taken some wild mushrooms and actually applied it to flatbread. I don't know about you, but most people wouldn't even think that far. They might know what flatbread is, and maybe they think that exotic things like wild mushrooms are something out of their price range. But you find if you go to the store and look in the produce section, wild mushrooms are there. You can buy them and you can handle them pretty easily at home without burning them and without baking them so much and so on. Put them in a saute pan with a little bit of butter and just heat them through, Clean them off. Do not put them in water to clean them. That's the worst thing you can do for a mushroom, just so you know. So you take a paper towel or even a fingernail brush or a vegetable brush and brush anything that's on there off. I just want you to know that what's on mushrooms when you buy them is not what you think it is. It doesn't come from the back end of a cow. No. That's not what they do anymore. They haven't done that for 50 years. So you can actually, if you didn't clean them at all, you're not eating things that you think you might be eating, if you know what I'm getting my drift here. That make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, the whole idea is that you could take some mushrooms, you can buy flatbread in the store, put the two together, you might be surprised. Maybe throw it in the oven to warm it through, whatever, cut it into serving sizes, and sit down with a little bit of this Balche double and see how good they taste together. So how did you get into Mexican part? How did that work?
I went for an interview. I met with the boss here, the vice president, David Weirman, and I walked in and I knew I wanted to work here. It just, the feel and the look of the restaurant, it's kind of casual, but it's also more of somewhere that you could see yourself, somewhere nice and, somewhere where you don't have to dress up too much, but you can still know you're going to get a great meal.
You've done a beautiful job with this place, I have to say. When did you open here?
We opened November 15th.
But just generally speaking, he goes through, talks to the customers. I've seen him take people and tell a joke to people, which I think is pretty doggone good. But the beautiful part is you can talk to him about food, and he can tell you what it's about. It's not, wait a minute, let me go look at a book, or let me go ask my boss, and I'll be back and I can give you an answer then. He's already got the knowledge. That's why he's here. That's why the company was smart enough to grab him. And I have to say, he probably won't be here for a long time. He's going to be moving on up the ladder. He's really a top-notch person, I have to say. We got to go to a break. Thank you very much for coming over and spending some time with us. Thanks again for your food, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Hi, my name is Danelle Peterson, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, here at the lovely Laredo Cantina. And I actually had the starter, which was the mushroom flatbread, and it was spectacular. It was paired with the white wine. The flatbread was really crispy with some nice mushrooms and a little bit of, it almost tasted like a vinaigrette with the mushrooms. It was a real nice texture, and the way that it went with the white wine, it was really light, summery, great starter. Fantastic.